What's up guys, it's Nathan. I'm going to show you how I got this look on my friend Urbano. It's a very minimal shadow with a pulled up look. Very minimal, best for hooded eyes. I'm going to show you how I got it right now. First, I started with cleansing their skin with Bioderma micellar water just to get any remnants of skincare or oil off the skin. And then I go in with the road glazing fluid or glazing milk, and then I followed up with the Black Girl sunscreen. They are pretty oily, so I didn't want to prep with too much moisturizer. This is Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder and Universal. One of my favorites, especially for oily, sweaty skin. This just absorbs oil throughout the day, makes your makeup look like it hasn't been touched all day. RCMA No Color Powder. This is a translucent powder that I'm prepping the brows with. So when I lay down the brow product, it has something to adhere to and it's not slipping around under the skincare or over the skincare. This is the ColourPop Brow Pencil. Thank you so much, ColourPop, for sending me a huge package of brow pencils. I appreciate it. This is in the color Soft Black. And then I'm using 5N and 4N from Do Her Skin Forever Glow Foundation. And just applying this all over the face, down the neck, and I'm sparing the eye area because I am going to put concealer in those areas. This is e.l.f. Camo Blush in Suave Mauve. Looks gorgeous on tan skin. It looks more neutral on tan skin while it looks more berry on lighter skin, which is so funny. This is Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 11. Going maybe like 3 shades lighter just to add bright highlights. Just so we can get more dimension in the face. So I'm doing it on the forehead, the cheeks, the nose bridge, the chin, and I'm using a RCMA color adjusting palette and creating a peach tone for over the mouth or around the mouth to neutralize any green hues. This is Scandinavia setting spray. Make sure that dries, and then I'm going in with MAC Studio Fix NC20. This is the old formula, but I'm just doing a preset, so when I go in with more RCMA translucent powder, it's not going to cake up. And I'm setting the rest of their skin with RCMA, and I can go heavy with this because they're oily. I use a lot of creams, so you gotta know time and place for the amount of powders that you're using. This is the Morphe WT Matte Essentials, and I'm going in with these 2 shades all over the lids, usually focusing it mostly around like the outer V, and then I'm having the model look straight. You want to build a wing or a smoked out wing as they're looking straight, because that's how they're gonna look most of the day. They're not gonna have their eyes closed because the eyes are very mobile, so you want to have them open close as much as you can. That's like my big trick. I used to do eyeshadow when their eyes were completely closed, and when they open it, it would look horrible. It would like be completely gone. It would distort the shape of the shadow. And as you get darker, so I'm using this really dark brown shade, as you get darker you want to use smaller brushes for more precision. This is like a flat, almost like something you would use in the lash line to smudge out a shadow, and I'm slightly winging it out, having them close their eyes, and then I'm going to blend out that little bat wing. Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I keep most of the shadow focus on the outer portion of the eye. I'm trying to go for this really open-eyed look, but still snatched, so I'm preserving as much lid space as I can and focusing more on the outer portion of the eyes. This is Bobbi Brown, I think, smudge proof eyeliner, and I'm tightlining the ends of their lash line as a base for the eyeliner, and I'm gonna follow the shadow guide that we placed down, trying not to pull the eye. You saw me like kind of drop the eyelid a little bit. If you distort the eye while you build your liner, you will get a very distorted angle. It's not going to look right. So try not to pull the eye. Try not to do anything with the eye while you're building the eyeliner. Have them look straight. Have them close your eyes. Or if you're doing this on yourself, look down, look straight, look up. Like, make sure that you're noticing all like positionings of the eye, like in different movements, just so you can get the right shape and angle down. So now I'm tightlining the entire eye. It's important to note that wherever I'm tightlining, I have the model look opposite of, just for sensitivity, because I feel like if they're looking in their inner corner and you're lining the inner corner, it's too close to the pupil and it's gonna make them water. So have them look off to the side while you do the inner corner, and it makes it so much easier, even if you're doing this on yourself as well. I'm taking a smaller dense brush and packing NC20, the powder foundation we use under the eyes, in the inner corners and also the brow bone. If you're doing a foxy eye or anything snatched, highlight the brow bone. That is the most important part of a snatched eye look, and you'll notice that I'm not taking the highlight on the brow bone all the way to the tail. I feel like when you bring the highlight to the tail, it just looks kind of droopy. my opinion. I don't know. It's opinions based. I don't know. This is RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm just using that to blend any excess shadow sitting on the eyelid and kind of just diffuse everything. I feel like translucent powder is my savior. I'm doing lashes now. This is Anastasia Lash Sculpt Mascara. Don't know how to feel about this mascara. I feel like it's kind of wet for my liking. But if you're doing a false lash on top of it, it's fine because I like things to be a little bit tacky. This is a lash I got from like Amazon or Shein, but it's like a really short lash and it tapers to a long edge. So anything that's short and tapered will work. I thought it suited the eye look a lot because it's not too long and it's more long on the ends. Now I'm just going in with more RCMA powder and setting any oily areas. This is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation, the old formula, unfortunately, but it's NC20. Any brightening powder will work. I just love my MAC Powder Plus Foundation. The new one's great, guys. The new one's great. But I'm using this under the eye just to add more dimension into the skin after we lost it with some of those powders. With the same powder, I am highlighting the nose bridge. I had something that I was gonna say and I totally forgot, but oh yeah, I put contact lenses in. I don't know if that's touchy subject for makeup artists, but they're my friends. That's okay. This is Olen's Scandy Olive. Next, I'm going in with a lip liner. This is Butter You Up from Beauty Creations. These lip liners are actually really good, and they're $3. Like, come on, can't beat it. And I'm just doing a preliminary lip line vibe, if that makes any sense. I go in with a lighter shade just as a corrector almost, and to lay down the groundwork, and then a darker lip liner, which this one is from Colourpop. I think it's BFF3. And then I go in and just define. I learned this from MAC when I used to work for them. 2 lip liners will always beat 1 lip liner. I'm sorry, it's always gonna work. And I'm using Peach Stock from MAC Maximal Satin lipstick, and low-key it's a little too beige for me. I'm actually regretting that I used this color. I should have used something a little bit more pinker, but it came out cute, I guess. Yeah, it was cute. And I'm going into the lower lash line and using the same transition shade I used in the beginning of the eyes and putting that under. I wasn't planning on this, but I did like a floating liner on the bottom. I think that's how you call it. I'm not really sure what I call this, or if this even makes sense at all, but I'm creating this like floating liner with this dark brown that I used in the crease, and I'm like lining it under the eyes and then not connecting it with a top lash line. Boom. And I'm creating like a parallel line to the top liner and then filling it in with a nude liner. This is from Colourpop. I actually love these liners so much. Very creamy and they stay in place. And I'm using this to open up the outer corners because I feel like that's gonna give the most snatched look, and boom, it did. So I was right. This is the Glitterpedia eye palette from Alicia. I'm using the center shade just to add reflexive glitter and also on the lower lash, and look how good it looks. Catches light perfectly, and also did some on the tip of the nose and bridge. And then I'm using Juvia's Place Volume 2. Ooh, it's speeding up. And then Volume 4 for the lightest shades. And I mix them together to create this brightening under eye. And boom, that is the look. I sprayed setting spray after. I didn't have a clip of it, sorry y'all. But that's how it looks. It's gorgeous, huh? Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you. Hope you learned something.